Namaste, brothers and sisters, worldwide, all over the world, watching this program, Gurukul Sandesh, sent out from New York City, from Maharshi Dayananda Gurukul. Welcome to episode 2, and today we're talking about God. God is a major topic in our lives, and God is so difficult to grasp and to explain that the subject of God, not God, but the subject of God has become such a huge problem. And the problem spans across these questions. Who is he? What is his name? What is his nature? And what does he do for the world? So difficult and controversial is such a subject that mankind has been truncated into feuding groups. The subject of God is more problematic than the subject of politics. People are divided along the lines of God more than they are on the lines of politics. And today, in this video blog, I wish to focus on this subject, and I wish to ask you to listen very carefully. Why is it important for me and you to connect psychologically with a God, with a God, or one of the gods? I shouldn't say one of the gods really, because God is really one, but because Christianity has its own definition of God, Islam has its own, Hinduism has its own, and in Hinduism, the two major groups, the Arya Samaj and Sanatan Dharam, they have their own understanding of God. It becomes important to ask the question, why is it's important for me and you to connect with someone we call God? And to answer this question, I take you to one of the mantras of the Rig Veda, or let's say the Vedas, because I know you don't know what the Vedas are, but for now, a mantra from the Veda, and it says this about God: Hiranyagarbha, he is the source of light. You and I are living in darkness, mankind, and because we live in darkness, we cry and we get angry and we are afraid and we feel insecure. And these are all forms of darkness. And we extol and praise God as being a source of light. And the Ved uses a term, Hiranyagarbha, he is a source of light. Samavartatagre, and it continues to say that God is consciously present since the beginning of this creation. The God you and I must worship among the so-called multitude of gods, assuming there is that God that is consciously present since even before the creation of this universe. And you and I are conscious, you and I are present. The soul, my soul was never created, and your soul was never created. So we too, as individual souls, we are present since the beginning of this creation. The thing is, we are not conscious of that presence since the beginning of creation, but God is. The God of all mankind, not of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, or Jews, but the God of all mankind is present since before the beginning of creation. Bhutasya jatah patihi eka asit, and continues to say that God is the one master of this entire universe. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, this universe is made up of solar systems. You and I are living in one solar system, and a number of solar systems come together to make up a galaxy, and there are countless and countless galaxies in this cosmos still expanding. And that God that you and I are talking about, that God is the one master of this entire expanding cosmos. And Sadadhara Prithivim Dyamutemam, the earth you and I stand on, and we have our being on, and the sky above that acts as an umbrella to us, that itself is endless. He, the one master, sustains this earth in space and sustains the sky above. Earth doesn't fall in space because it is held together by some pull that is called the pull of gravity, and that pull of gravity belongs to God. So he sustains this earth that you and I stand on, and he sustains the heavens above that act as an umbrella for me and you. Kasmai Devaya. So here's the question, which God? Is it that God or the other God? Which God? Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidharma, the God who is a source of happiness and joy. That God who, when connected with, can lend you his joy and bring a smile on your face, bring a sense of security and peace in your heart. That God you and I should go to. He's the origin of the joy that you and I want. He's the origin of the light that you and I want in the midst of all the darkness that we encounter. Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema. We should worship that God. We should psychologically connect with that God with the flowers of our devotion in our palms, O mankind. God is a very, as I said at the beginning, God is a very problematic issue, a very problematic subject. We can tear each other apart for a particular name of God that we cherish, for a so-called particular form of God that we cherish, because the God of our religion is superior to the God of your religion, and so we are ready to battle that out. But the day you and I can focus on God or mankind as a source of light, as being consciously present in the beginning of this creation, or even before, that is the one master of the still expanding cosmos that nurtures and sustains the earth we have our being on, and the heavens above that act as an umbrella for me and you. He being the source of all the joy we need. If you and I can worship that God consciously with the flowers of devotion in our palms, then we have a great way to go ahead. And so I encourage you, get in contact with me. This is Dr. Satish Prakash. You can call me at my New York number, +1 917 680 2948, or you can catch me on Facebook, Satish Prakash at yahoo.com. That same number, +1 917 680 2948, will get you to my WhatsApp page. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. This is episode number 2. Would you tell your friends that we have now come online and we are seeking to connect with all humanity? With that being said, I say namaste.